Hello, this is Falterfire, and it's time for another randomly generated deck with a randomly selected character this time. So I'm going to go live in the Discord, and we will see if anybody decides to drop in on the Discord. Otherwise, if you are hearing this, I suppose if you're hearing this bit, then you must be watching it on YouTube. So thank you for watching my YouTube video. Let me go pull up the page for randomly generating a page. For randomly generating decks, I'm going to clear the cache to reset it, and it tells me that Silan is our character, and our deck list I will be posting to the Discord for reference later. Okay, so let's look at what we have to work with. So the first note here is we have a resolute focus. Let's play. How many skills do we have to go with it? We have a hone, we have a spell scry, and that's it. So this resolute focus, it may be a bit tricky to use. However, we do also technically, we can get exhaustions, which are skills. We have siphon card and we have void bolt. So we have a slight discard strategy setting up. We have a rallying strike, and a lot of strikes to go with it. We have a spell scry and exactly 2 spells. I suppose strenuous blast is another way for us to generate skills for our resolute focus. We have triple strike, we have follow-up strike, we have increasing stab. These are all pretty good with the rallying strike. That's a decent start. We are playing Silan, that's worth remembering. This is a Silan deck, technically. And then in our actual card pool, our mana is, again, the siphon card. We have unstable focus, which is probably the worst mana card for actually generating mana, because it doesn't unless you already have mana boost. We have energize, which we actually have enough exhaustions that might be relevant. We have charging focus, which is okay because I mean it's always fine. We have regular focus, but the important note here is that siphon card is going to be our only focus where upgrading it gets us straight up +2 mana. Or, so unstable focus, I suppose siphon card and focus can both upgrade to get straight up +2 mana, and then the strenuous focus that's in the starting deck. So our epic rarity cards, we have Benevolent Idol. So we are just really hard into this discard theme, I guess, because we have this Benevolent Idol. We've got 2 discard cards in our basic deck. I see here that we've got Void Bolt in our card pool. We've got Death or Glory, which is totally fine. It's fine. We might be able to cut down with the Rallying Strike so that we can actually consistently play the Death or Glory, which might make it tempting. We've got Catalyst, which is trash and unplayable, so we won't take that. We have Mana Surge, which is pretty good. We might take that. There's a decent chance that that ends up in our deck. You have Careful Strike, which I'm not a huge fan of. We already have an Increasing Stab, and I think Increasing Stab generally does the same job better in general. We have Power Surge, which is a great thing to see when you have this many random strikes in your base deck. We have a Stone Skin, which is another great defensive card. We have Crystal Strike, which I don't love. We have Mind Over Body, which you're not going to be able to use. Introspection is some good card draw. Scattered Mod is a very good thing to have like one of for Silan. Scattered Beam is bad. Regeneration is some healing. Mind Shield, Magic Blast. So we've got a good mix of stuff here. So our other epics, we got Curse Conjunction. The Fire Master is probably nothing, but the Royal Converse is solid. I am now a fan of Arcane Spellbomb. I wasn't originally. I think the new version is actually pretty good, so I do like that. And then we have Singularity as an option. We don't have any growth, I think. And this is something that I noticed going over the monster cards, is that there aren't any monster cards that give growth either, which means that it is the only way that we could potentially be scaling any reasonable amount of growth is if we pick up specifically the wand that applies growth, which is not really likely. So the Singularity we probably won't be able to afford. So let's buy all of these market items and let's get into it. All right, so this isn't terribly exciting. I think we probably take the battery pack. It will get us more items throughout the run, and having more items is always good. I think we probably go through so we can actually go through here and then fight these 2, and that will give us 2 elites. But if we go this direction, we have to deal with this jerk, and this jerk is unfriendly, but it does let us pick up it does give us a shot at a mana dance, and we have a reroll charm. So I really like the idea of rolling after a mana dance. So I think we're going to start here and see what ends up happening. Getting critical chance. That was a 50-50 shot to actually just straight up be a kill, but no such luck. These are both 50-50 shots to get a kill. No luck. But we do now have one of these jerks dead. Punk. Get Spell Scrub, which will let us turn on the Resolute Focus. And then we can Flash Bomb. And we can actually do either one of these. And that gets us the first kill. No damage taken. I will happily have a Stone Skin in my deck. That seems very useful to have on hand. Let's go here and try and get a Lacerating Strike. Not that we really are in dire need of additional mana or additional strikes at this point, but you know. I think we saved that for now. Let's go. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Lethal. Draw 2 cards that way. It's a very, very aggressive starting deck, but at least it's doing a pretty good job of being a very aggressive starting deck. And this would really keep that theme going. I'll take it. And we have some tough, so that makes that okay. Because 50% tough is just quite good, especially with weak. That is a massive amount of damage reduction. And you can see that, yeah, like we played that, and because we have the 2 plated and we have the 2 tough, we are now only taking 3 damage from this guy. Or only taking 3 arcane. And then we kill Paunch. And pitch that. Gets that kill. And so we're getting debuffed slightly, but we already got a kill. So that's pretty nice. We are not going to be able to play this Resolute Focus. But let's see. That's not lethal. Let's see what that gets me. There we go. 1 enemy left. We are no longer weak, so we can just do some damage. You only need 1 more damage, and we are getting a Cannon Blast, so we couldn't play the Cannon Blast, but I kind of like this. Corrupted Blast isn't bad, but I kind of like having the Energize. And then we are going to see if we can get us a mana dance. Fortunately, this guy is made way less scary by a combination of the cards we have access to. Oh no! However, well, we survived, taking 0 damage. But I do want to highlight, we're not just taking 0 damage once, we are taking 0 damage 4 times, which, it's a real threat. We could have died there. I guess. That's a fun trick. And because we are still tough and this is still weak, we take 1 whole damage. And we get to go boom. Get no actual health damage. And then we punch. I would say this is going reroll. No luck. I think I will still take the Swift Strike, and then I think I will take additional Tough, because Tough is very, very good for us. And I think we cut the Triple Strike. I think it's the weakest of our strikes. I think I actually kind of like doing this. Let me pitch that. Paunch. We already have a stack of critical, so. Okay. Oh no. I mean, we are now poisoned, which isn't my favorite thing, because we cannot defeat poison with all of our armor, although we will at least not take any damage here outright. Still taking poison damage, still taking a little bit of leech damage, but we are making good progress towards getting this victory. So pitch that because we can just immediately draw it back. Neither of these is lethal. Go ahead and get the arcane on it. We're gonna take some damage here, but not too bad considering that this is the mid-boss fight. I think that increasing stab probably needs to go. I don't think we're ever going to actually manage to get that to go off. None of these are great. I don't like any of these. All of them are doing nothing. I kind of think we might take the catalyst just because it goes with the resolute focus, and then we just cut it pretty quick. As for our upgrade, that's not an awful upgrade. I like having focus plus. That's a very good choice. But I think it's the rallying strike. I think drawing 2 strikes is pretty good, and then I think we cut the increasing stab because I think that's our weakest strike. And we are going to try and pick up a mana dance still. Bonk. That's 12. Let's just get that. And we are going to actually take damage here, but I don't think that was a bad turn 1. Let's draw into those. Let's see, this does 9 damage. There we go. I think we take... I do really want the Shocking Grasp. That does seem pretty good. But I also really want the focus, so I'm kind of torn here. Part of it is like focus is like the best mana card in our mana pool, and so I think I want to have it. I think we also want Tiny Book because it's one of the best trinkets. And we are already tough, so only the plated here would matter, but I think we still probably end up doing it. But let's start by punching in. Draw anything of value. Now, yeah, we're taking no actual health damage here. We are getting poisoned, but so yeah, I wouldn't hate having a way to heal show up. But unfortunately, we don't have Forest Guardian as an option, which would normally be what I'd be looking for here. So we are just going to have to deal with slowly hemorrhaging HP until such time as we either find an item to help us, or we find... there's a few things that could end up working in our favor here. More damage. But this guy's almost dead. Definitely seeing the downside to having just no defense here. and that we are taking way more damage than we need to because we don't have any way to get. I really don't like Leeching Seeds, but it is technically some amount of healing. I guess I take it. I don't really like any of the other cards anyway, and I want to save my reroll for this, so. The Void Bolt's kind of bad. Probably that ends up getting cut at some point. I think we start with that, and then I pitch the Catalyst, play the Resolute Focus. So we can try and think how we get to exactly the right number, which is 0. We want to get to 0 mana so we can focus. So we need to play 11 mana worth of cards. That is, and this isn't actually going to cost 4. It's going to cost less than that. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this works out. Draw into more stuff. There we go. I should technically heal 3 health from that leeching thing. Let's pitch that. We can whomp. And I think just do that. We are bleeding, so we don't really want to play much. But I will play both of these. And then I think I end turn. Just eat 4 damage. And then just count on the fact that we should be able to wrap up the fight here, probably. Not quite, but pretty close. Again, like, we're not losing a ton of HP each fight, but we are losing HP each fight. So I know we do have like a rejuve in the pool, so that's an option. We reroll, no luck. I will take a scattered mod though. That's a pretty nice thing to have one of. And we are doing enough crits. I will take that. As for next cuts, the Catalyst is pretty bad. I think that's the next thing to go. Which, I mean, cutting your first gold card is not the best way to start a fight. So I'm definitely upgrading the scattered mod after this, unless we get Depraved Designs, in which case, obviously, we're upgrading the best card in the game. Like, I am willing to make Galaxy Brain plays like take advantage of having access to the best card in the game if that ends up being what comes to pass. Pitch that. Alright, so we're going to evade this hit. And it was very important to get that kill first, because otherwise this friendo does what you just saw and sets up death spores on everyone. So avoiding that is pretty good. Alright, so now we're down to just the boss. We are poisoned, and poison is something that, as noted, we do not have great ways of handling. But let's go with that and that. One of the weird things about this boss is that it doesn't attack that much, but it does apply whatever to all of its friends. It applies death spores, which is just kind of weird, because this is the first time it's actually attacked us. Boop. Badoop. Oh, I need to, let's pitch that, play that. Whomp. And there's the Area 1 beaten. And we got Depraved Designs. I really would have liked that Ancestral Idol, but Depraved Designs is the best card in the game, so I mean, I'm not taking it. Take that, upgrade. I already cut the increasing, yeah, okay. We're upgrading, obviously, the Depraved Designs, like I said. Card's busted. I might cut the Void Bolt. It's okay damage, like the fact it's only 1 mana. The Serenus Blast is also pretty questionable, although it is good. It's good reach. It lets me deal with damage to things that are not. Leeching Seeds is pretty bad. Leeching Seeds can go. There's no point in me defending it. This would give us a way to heal if we fight this Alpha Silga. So that's a pretty good choice. And then we can try and pick up Elemental Strike. That means giving up an elite fight to do, but I think Elemental Strike is valuable enough to be worth that trade-off. I think we start here with this Silga because I like the potential of getting both of these fights. Because this could give us a cornered focus, which I would love to have. And then the next fight could give us other cards that I like having. I reserve the right to fail to be articulate at any point for any reason. It doesn't matter because I'm just going to do that. So we killed one Silga on turn 1, which is a pretty good start. Because Silgas love being jerks. And specifically, the way they most love being jerks is that they really adore spawning more Silgas. They breed like rabbits, and that is not good for us. So we would rather they don't do that. This is not, but I will take a shield card, and that's one of the better shield cards. So if you're going to have a shield card, it should be the good one. If we do this first, it will let us focus. And yeah, this is why I want Scattered Blast Plus, is because then we can, that would have tripped an Arcane if it was a Scattered Blast Plus. I think anything of value here. We can do that, which is funny. Dump on that. Now, we don't actually have any Reflect, so we don't get that much value actually out of. Okay, so we did, because we shuffled, we were able then to draw back into that Scattered Blast, which is going to end up helping us a lot. Yeah, we can play everything in hand, because, like so. We go boom, and boom, and boom, which is a pretty good turn. And we are slowly healing just thanks to that healing potion that we have, so that's nice. It's a neat bonus. Oh, another synergy with Depraved Designs is that after we draw all of these Shrivels, we can just lucky die them away, which is very funny. I'll take a Burning Focus, that seems okay. Focus is probably better, but... I was hoping for the Arcane Wisp cards out of that, but Beggars, Choosers, all that. So kind of the main goal here is that we really want to kill that jerk before he gets to set up 5-plated, because after he sets up 5-plated, we are going to have a very bad time killing him. So that makes that easier. So now we won't have to deal with that. Unfortunately, we also don't have a way to deal with prevent getting arcaned here. Because even if we have evasion 1, that's not enough. And we do that and then discard that and that and that. That's what we find. Well, that Depraved Designs is probably going to end up helping. That didn't really help. I lied. We're not going to take much in the way of damage here. It's just we're also not going to do much here. Could be worse. And because I burned that lucky die, we no longer have access to it here. So I have to spend actual health to draw stiff. Goodbye. But it's fine. We took 4 damage to just end the fight, which I am perfectly fine with. Arcane, so Raging Flask is really good, but having the ability to apply extra Arcane on our Cannon Blasts is very good. And I will happily take a Mystic Ritual. Which, fortunately, Arcane applied by cards does not include Arcane you apply to yourself. Otherwise, we would die, and we would be sad, because dying makes us sad. So, start by drawing some cards. Because we can draw it back with the spell scrying. The question is, do we want to try and focus down this friendo in the back, or do we want to go after the one in the front. And the answer may surprise you. We also can just draw some more cards, which I actually like that outcome. I think we don't need that, because now we can do that, which will give us this scattered blast. So we can start by doming that. And this clear arcane procs, which means that we do a whole bunch of damage here. And we can set up more tough. And because we had that evade, we didn't even take any damage. We are again in this awkward position I've mentioned before, where we like have this resolute focus that we can't use, but we do get to get that kill, so we are now down to just the Alpha Silga, which, weirdly enough, you would think the Elite would be the one that was able to spawn more, but it's actually the only one that can't. So we are totally fine here. We are not in danger of getting severely bullied. Questions: are we fine eating an arcane proc for the Mystic Ritual? I think not. I don't think we need to. So. Oh, one short. Take 3 whole damage. And then that's the kill. And I don't hate having this though. 3 stacks of evasion is a lot of evasion. That wasn't really the card that I was looking for. I was looking for the one that gives us powerful. The follow-up strike seems like our weakest strike. And then we're gonna see if we can get. Although I say that no, because like if we end up getting elemental strike, I want the ability to draw it off of rallying strike as consistently as possible, I think. Question becomes, do I Strenuous Blast? I don't think so. We're going to do that. And so we are going to get 3 Whole Frost. We will eventually freeze to this Frostbite, but it's not going to be a short process. We can do this and then immediately it pays for itself, which is fun. Oh, I didn't realize how few strikes we had. Don't really need to play another Hunting Trance right now. Nope. So we don't have way to dodge. I don't think that this is going to be enough to get us out of taking this arcane application. But with that, it is. Not playing that. I would say this is all going pretty well. So we really want to win next turn so we don't get frozen. But we should be able to pull that. Yeah. Bonk. I really like Arcane Spellbomb, but Elemental Strike is really good, and we happen to have a deck that is doing Elemental Striking. Aura of Protection means that we don't need any shield cards, which is nice. Upgrading the Elemental Strike is very good. Cutting, I don't think we need against the odds if we have the Aura of Protection. I kind of want to go after the Cornered Focus, so I think that's what we're going to do. Unfortunately, we do not have an Emerald Dragon, so the cards that this guy drops are much less exciting. I do not remember what these options are. Let's see what that does. Okay, it's just going to kill us, which, whatever. That's fine. Gets us back to full health a little faster. Let's draw cards. Let's draw cards. And then we can do this, which is going to do a lot of procs because it is just going to pop everyone. And then we can do that, which should give us, this elemental strike. So now we have an extra turn of that. So next turn, we'll be able to continue doing things. Let's discard that and that and that. I think we don't need, we're still critical, so we don't need that. Now we just have lethal. Again, like, I don't really need a copy of that. I don't hate having the exsanguinate. It is a good way to get lifesteal, but it is also just really, really bad in terms of cost. Careful Strike's okay in that it's like only 1 mana to play, and we are going to be criticaling with it somewhat often. I don't love it, but we'll take it for now. Probably just end up cutting it eventually. This is an incredibly good card. We're taking it over the battery pack. I don't hate the thing that's like all of our strikes hit the first 2 enemies, because we do have a bunch of strikes. But the thing that I kept is just obscene, so that beats out merely good. I think I copied these two, because I really do not want this to get set up. I think if that gets set up, we are in a very bad spot. Suppose I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to pitch those 3 and hope to draw into mana. There we go. Weak to everything. So we didn't finish getting this kill, but we got enough arcane on it that we should be able to finish. We should be able to at least blow it up. I can't afford to play this and also do that, and I really want to do that, so. We are going to take an arcane proc here. But. So this is kind of the critical turn, because this is the turn where that would have applied more powerful to everyone, which, considering we're already taking a decent amount of damage here. Also, I noticed that the Aura Protection was gonna trump shield cards, but like, we just haven't been able to end turns with any mana. Which nothing I can do about that. We definitely don't want a second one. We'll take a regen. It's not my favoriteest card because it does nothing but help us lose slower, but it does mean that we can play more fast and loose with like Mystic Ritual, which is value. So I think we start with that. All right. Draw those. And then, because our plan is to just do that. Okay, so if we draw cards, there's a decent chance it gets us mana. So we're going to play that to get room in our hand, and then we're going to Little Book. Ugh, no luck on finding mana, really. I think we pitch. We don't need that, because the goal is to copy this Elemental Strike so we can play it twice. And then I don't hate playing the copy of the Flash Bomb. Yeah, because our hope here was that we were going to spawn both of the friendos. So now we can do this and that. We've got the freeze on the back. And so we're not taking any damage. We set up our runes for next turn. We have no mana to work with, but one problem at a time. So conveniently, we set up our mana perfectly so that we can do that. Didn't get as much value out of that rune as I was hoping for, but we can actually play that, so we can play that. I do like setting that up and just getting the skill. So we are going to take a burn, but we're not really taking any damage from the dragon, and all we have left is the dragon, which is a pretty decent place to be in. Let's see what this is, Ross. Yeah, that needs to go. Because drawing this means that we don't draw the card that we actually want, which is the Elemental Strike. And yeah, we definitely need more mana. We keep ending turns just wishing we had access to more mana so that we could play, so we could get shield off of our Aura of Protection. But we do get the kill here probably. There are some hands here where we don't, but this is not one of them. Death or Glory is very risky. We need to be able to, before I would be willing to take Death or Glory, I would need to be able to cut at least, probably to take Death or Glory, I would need to cut the Careful Strike and the Mighty Punch, so that when we Rallying Strike, we always get exactly, no, because that would still be too many. The Worm's Bite's not awful. It's not good, but it's not technically the worst. I kind of want to pick that up because this would, the Might Rune giving starting Mighty would mean that we just, because I don't think we otherwise have a way to get it, and we do get 50% damage bonus from Mighty. But all three of these trinkets I think are more valuable. Yes, we have other ways to get tough, but our defense is kind of a problem. Well, we have other ways to get tough. It'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? So the question here is, I do still really want to upgrade Scattered Mod. I think that is a very good upgrade, but I think mana has been enough of an issue that... Okay, so speaking of mana, so our elites, we can hit this friendo. This is still a fight that tends to be pretty dangerous, but it does have the advantage of this is a pre-mid-boss version, so we won't fight the Marsh Elementals. And having access to Clear Focus will be very, very valuable. I think we're willing to take a Corrupted Font, even if it means having to deal with corrupted damage because the mana is so good. So I think we do go this route, and then we do get a chance at Dig Through Muck at the end, which is nice. And we will take a turn to Gunk, I think, if we are offered one. I think we have enough trash cards in our deck that we are fine with turning things to Gunk. This is a great pair of cards to copy. Oh, I should have used that, whatever. I think we discard that. I think we have plenty of card draw without it. So we kind of want to save this Cannon Blast until we find our copy of the only card that we have that Scattered Mod. We will Lucky Die these, which will draw us into more Shrivels, but so you'll notice we've like completely demolished this front enemy. Have I covered that, like, I mean, part of this is just the value that we get out of not Elemental Strike, out of the treasures from them. Like, that's obviously a huge part of this. But also, I think this is a pretty good demonstration of just how powerful having access to Elemental Strike is. Because Elemental Strike's not doing none of the damage here. And yeah, we will take that turn to Gunk. Because we have Shrivels, we have Exhaustions, we have just random cards that we may not necessarily want later in a fight. This guy's going to be a pain in the butt to deal with. We don't have a great way to handle this guy, but see what we can draw. I think we don't want that. I think we want to turn the Strenuous Blast to gunk. We're definitely playing that. And I think we are probably copying the Elemental Strike and the Worm's Bite, because I think we actually are totally cool with getting a bunch of the Conflict Rates, because even though we aren't going to have burn on the enemies, the other thing Conflict Rate does for us is we can convert it into damage thanks to other things we have going for us. I kind of want to just Sludge Shot that friend. I want a Stone Skin, but I also want a Sludge Shot. Let's Sludge Shot. I'll get 5 shield use. Oh, the Conflict Rate trips all of our runes. That's why I want it. Sorry, I didn't finish that thought. And we're fine playing that, which does actually turn Resolute Focus, which is nice. And then we are going to Energize, so we can play that. I didn't think about that. That does cost us our elemental runes. Whoops. Don't I feel silly? Let's pop that. Gets me to exactly 0 so I can focus. I can gain critical with that, and then I'm fine discarding that. And go bonk, bonk, bonk. Which is going to do any damage, but it's going to draw us these shrivels, which we'll then discard. Oh right, we got rid of our, that's not going to do anything. I'm very smart. This could be going a lot worse. We just got to kill. What more do you want? I was really hoping I was going to get that arcane proc. We are going to get to evade this hit though, which is very nice. And turn to gunk is another way to get tough, which is also nice. Yeah, we're probably going to end up tripping that one way or another. Question is just the ordering. Guess we go ahead and do, and then yeah, this will trip it. But you also get to pull up one of those plated stacks, which is nice. And we can do that. And I don't think we want a Worm's Bite. We need to get that one brief turn of not having to deal with the arcane barrier, but unfortunately it was a turn during which we did not have our thing we want, our elemental strike, which is unfortunate. That is the other stack of, that's one of the other stacks of plated gone though, so that's nice. This just draws us the Void Bolt, which is not amazing. And we do get that out of the deck. Creating the arcane proc no matter what we do. Oh no, we're not, because now we froze them. That means the elemental strike just does everything. It's just very good. It just does so much stuff for you, whether you're paying attention or not. Alright, so that's going to remove that. So, and then burns to death. So that went pretty well. I am definitely muted on the stream, but it doesn't matter because nobody has been watching. Clear focus. We even got the card we were here for. That's value. I don't hate having The extra spell damage I don't hate, because this 6 growth would mean starting with getting extra mana every turn. That actually seems very good. I also don't hate having spell damage plus 10% obviously, but the starting growth rank 2 is a lot less valuable. And this also means we start with a bunch more mana. So let's take that and then let us cut. The spell square is actually pretty bad. So that probably needs to go, but I think I still want to cut the Worm's Bite because I think it's a little bit too awkward because it does keep getting in the way of our Elemental Strike getting drawn. I think we do want to duplicate that and that. We're going to take some damage. We get to draw some cards. I don't think we're going to need that. We still have critical, so that's fine. So we can final pitching that. Alright. Rhyme Shield's okay. More mana is also good. This is still very bad. As mana cards go. This is a pretty bad mana card because most of the time, as you've seen, it is just gain 2 mana. Rhyme Shield is most of the time just like, okay. I don't know if we need the insurance, but worse things have happened. There are a lot worse cards than a free bunch of shield. I think we duplicate these two. And we're going to draw treasures off these guys. Nice. We do this. I should have played this first so that I could have the best chance of drawing Elemental Strike again, which is the card that I wanted. Do I try and draw for mana? Yes. And I think I will keep drawing. Don't need that. I have plenty of shield. We can... Didn't I already turn... Oh, that was last fight. Last fight was very, very short, so that's why I forgot. Get dunked on. I don't think we need a second one, though. I mean, I say that. There's an argument to take the second one just because, like, then we can just really chew through our deck and turn everything in the deck to gunk. Don't need no cards. Just need gunk. Save that. We might actually need it later. We are now in the unfortunate position of being very cursed. But we now have an Elemental Strike. And what else do we copy here? Just the Swift Strike? It's not the worst. I actually don't hate turning this into gunk just because it means that we don't have to deal with drawing it. And this turns on the Resolute Focus, which will let us play Mystic Ritual. Of course, we do want to play. And now... do that. into that, gaining mana into drawing cards, and discard that, turn this to gunk, kill, kill. And we have a good amount of evade still. We are slightly hemorrhaging health just from that, but we are able to set this up again, which means that we now once again have Elemental Strike set up. That helps a little bit. No, we're fine taking that. I think we still haven't actually played our Depraved Designs yet this fight because we just keep shuffling our deck and then not finding it on the redraw. We can eat it. We can eat an Arcane card. Yeah, that's the first time to find that. Alright, because we cut the mighty, we turned the mighty strike to gunk. I was like, where's our other hit? Royal Coffers is pretty okay. It's a pretty good card draw spell, and I don't want to risk the Ruinous Gamble. I don't think we can reliably do that one, especially not with how often we're shuffling. And there is strike damage, which we love seeing. I do think now the Mighty Punch is definitely ready to roll, because getting rid of that I think means the Rolling Strike is guaranteed to draw us back into the cards we want to see. And we're going to upgrade probably one of our mana cards. I think at this point it is late enough that we don't want Scattered Blast Plus. I don't think this is valuable to us anymore. We're definitely not doing that. So it basically comes down to, do we want extra mana, or do we want to reduce our debuffs further? I think reducing our debuffs further makes sense. So that's going to draw us into Elemental Strike, which I could copy, but I think I'm going to do this first to see if I draw anything of value. Okay, so now I'm fine with copying these two. Of course, you play the Royal Coffers first, just because then you don't have to play it. You get to only pay 1 mana for the extra card draw, which is obviously a much better deal. Let's turn Regeneration to gunk, because it's still not very useful to us. There's the Scattered mod that I was looking for, which you can use to deal damage as well. Is drawing, is this an okay turn 1? This seems like an okay turn 1. I don't hate having Bane. We probably cut it if we get removals, but of our rests, I mean. Scattered mod also, because we never did upgrade it, that probably gets cut when we get removals. Start by drawing some cards. Play that, make sure we get that off. Heal. Let's draw 3 and discard 1. I think the Hone, because we'd rather just play the Hunting Trance. I was hoping to find more card draw. I would have copied if we found more card draw, but we didn't. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Yeah, we do that. Create a temporary copy of that, definitely. And then I think Scatter Blast actually makes sense as the second copy. Do this nonsense. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. Reasonable. Do you like drawing cards? I like drawing cards. What if we just draw all of the cards? Does that seem like enough? Stop that. Nope. Alright, there's kind of what we needed to see. That's also kind of nice, we can then get it out of our hand. You ever just find yourself in the awkward position of not being able to draw cards because you have just too many cards in your hand? I mean, I should have discarded that. That's not going to do anything for me right now. And that can all go. A reminder, this is turn 1. In case you forgot, because, you know. Admittedly, again, like, this is less this deck on its own being broken and more a result of how absurd this this fight is if you are able to keep generating mana. Where you will just keep being handed additional treasures, and you can just keep turning the treasures into value. Yeah, we'll take some damage to draw more cards. And here I thought I was gonna have to stop. Nope. Turn 1 kill. And we even get the card we want. Don't care about that. Don't really care about that. Definitely don't want that. We're fine burning the reroll here. I actually kind of am tempted to take that over the Aura of Protection, because I don't think we need the Aura of Protection anymore, but it's probably better safe than sorry. Strike damage +2 is just better. This is absurd, though. It's hard to pass up that over the Aura Protection. And now, so we cut the regeneration, because that's not going to do anything for us in this fight. We'll gain a temporary buff. We will remove a card. We will cut the Bane I don't think we need. We will cut the Scattered mod. We will cut the Hone. We will cut maybe the Siphon card. No, I think it's the Energize. Alright, here we go. Final fight time. Stone Skin. We don't have any, yeah, so let's play this first so that we can get these out of our deck. And then let's draw and hopefully discard, yeah, that's a good discard. Create temporary copy of Brave Designs Plus and Elemental Strike Plus. And just start beating. So the advantage of the bleed being applied is that it does help consume the these purities that we need to make go away before we can start actually getting work done. Because the other reason I'm fine like cutting all of our defense is that, you know, now we've got a freeze. So everything's fine. That's going to draw us treasures. We can upgrade a treasure, which will draw us more cards, which is handy. Drew minimum number of cards on those. Turn that to gunk. Alright, now we're critical. It's going to draw us mostly shrivels, but find more mana. There we go. I'm just going to copy this, which will give us 2 treasure pluses, which theoretically give us a very good chance of finding mana. We can now pitch that and that and that. So we can do this. Playing this just gets it out of our hand, but it's otherwise not useful. But if we have to end our turn here, it's not the end of the world. It's not like we're, you know, in a bad spot. Yeah, that's fine. Into turn 1. So we didn't get the turn 1 kill, but we got 2 consecutive turns of freezing without, so whatever. We do unfortunately have to arcane proc ourselves in order to get that off, but it's whatever, we don't really care. We can play that. We can heal back all of the damage that we took from our focuses. Draw cards. Thank you. No luck on finding mana. That's okay. We're still not really taking any, we can at least turn that to gunk so that we don't have to deal with it later. And that also kills us again, so. Oh, right, because we went down below 5 growth because we arcane procced ourselves. I was like, shouldn't we get more mana than that? Unfortunately, if you hit yourself like a big dumb, you don't. Let us clear out most of our stacks of stuff. Burning focus. Clear out this exhaustion. Although we have the creating exhaustion, is it just the string? No, it's the strenuous focuses. That's the main one. Because like I didn't think that we've been playing strenuous blast that much. So it took us 3 turns, so not the best, but I'll take it. Let's get that end screen. And I guess I am done. Bye.